This is Miami All Access.
First of all, congratulations to my man Quentin Rollins for being MAC Defensive Player of the Year. That was the highlight of my day before the game tonight. Secondly, as we talk about the game, I thought the first half really hindered us. We've got to get better in the first half because we just turned the ball over too much and too many unforced turnovers. So 11 turnovers, and I think they had 25 points off of turnovers, and so really, really hard to overcome that against they're a very good team. And I'm going to guess there'll be an NCAA tournament team, but you have to play the season out. And I thought they made us pay for our mistakes. In the first half, I thought, Pollard really played well and really gave them some key moments in the first half. In the second half, I thought our energy was much better, although we did not start the half off well, which was a main part of what we talked about at halftime. But I said it on the radio show, I'll say it again. Kudos to our guys for when we got 15 down, they didn't tuck it in, and they continued to compete. So, as you look at the game, we made some shots, obviously. Dayton did not. From the three-point line, we played a lot of zone. The more and more I watched them on tape, the more and more I realized how many different areas they could hurt you in. To me, that is the strength of their team, is their ability to pass the ball and their ability to have multiple guys that can really, really bail them out at different times on the game. So it really stresses your defense out. I thought Eric Washington was much better in the second half, and then, of course, I thought Willie Moore gave us a tremendous lift in the second half also. Questions?
Coach, it kind of looked at the beginning of the game like there was a concerted effort to get the ball inside and a lot of turnovers and hanging onto the ball, things like that. And then after that, and then some at the start of the second half, it just kind of looked like they were struggling for their identity, didn't know whether to shoot outside or go in or whatever. Did you get any sense of periods of time where the offense was just kind of mired or struggling?
Well, I think there were some times where we certainly struggled offensively, but this is what I'll tell you. If this game was in the 70s or the 80s, we really, really would have struggled to beat them just because of their overall athleticism. And to me, it was very clear when you watch them in transition how fast they can really get the ball back up your back. And that's not just it doesn't just come from the point guard. It comes from overall team speed, and it comes from overall skill, because there's 5 guys on the court that can always pass the ball. So that was one of the concerns we had, is that, you can't let the game get out of control and get out of hand, because they can probably reach a number offensively that we cannot get to at this point. So, there were some times where there were some struggles in the first half, but I thought, certainly, there were some possessions that didn't look great, but I thought our turnovers affected us more than that, in that you allow them to get out in transition, you allow them to get easy opportunity buckets. And so I thought that was the biggest deal in the first half. And there are guys inside, and you still have to throw the ball when they're open, because at the end of the day, it puts pressure on their defense. We've got to get more consistent in there. We've got to understand how to score. I think, one of the things is you look at their post players, when they catch the ball in there, they're good enough to where if they don't score, they may get a foul or they can make a play. And it's not that they're going to score 25 a night, but they're a presence and they're a factor in the game. And that's what we've got to get to, is that we're a presence and a factor in the game when we throw it inside.
How big were those plays toward the end? It was right down by your bench where there was an apparent steal and then it just got away.
Well, actually, the one on the other side I couldn't see as well. The one in front of me, Willie steals it. We play the throwback pass, and dribble it off his foot or whatever. I don't know. Bad luck. But in order to win this game, you have to make the plays down the stretch, and you have to make them within the guts of the game. So there were a couple opportunities I thought we broke down. There are free throws that we left out on the table that we don't make. And then, of course, there are those plays. Conversely, you turn it around, they were able to make those. They were able to make the plays when they needed to make them. And certainly some of that is experience that they have and experience that they've had in big-time games, a big-time atmosphere. And they have guys on that team that made the run and understand what it takes. But, you know, how do you get that experience? With 7 new guys, you continue to put yourself in that position. You continue to get up every day and practice and execute even when you're tired. I mean, I talk to the guys about it in the locker room. You're going to be tired tomorrow and blah, 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 but I'll be crabby tomorrow. So I don't really care about you being tired because we've got to get better, because the worst thing that can happen is that if we go and we don't bring the same effort and we lay an egg on the road Saturday, that would be the worst thing. Now, if a team beats you, they beat you, okay? Then that's different. But it can't be because you're not ready to play, you're not competing, and you're not doing those things. And so, you know, we're starting to get there. We're starting to understand what it means and what it looks like. We're not there yet all the way. We're not there yet. But, you know, if this team will keep improving, as we go down, I'll take my chances with them.
Willie played for an extended time in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
How important was he for the comeback?
Well, I mean, he had what was that? Was that about a 8-point spurt he had, I think, possibly? And so, I mean, he made shots offensively. He had 1 turnover. You know, I told him, I said, when I was talking to him this week, and, you know, I love Willie Moore as a kid. But I told him, I said, you know, you're playing 18 minutes a game as it is right now, and you've got 14 turnovers on the year. Before this game, 4 assists, 14 turnovers. That's what you want it to be reversed. You want to have 14 assists, 4 turnovers, okay? So that's where you want to be. So, quite frankly, you've got to take better care of the basketball, you know, and then you've got to be engaged. So you have to understand the psyche of kids. I mean, Willie's played. Willie's from this area, so Willie now, probably for the first time in a long time, with the exception of Oregon his freshman year, is going through a situation where he's not playing as many minutes as he normally plays, or he has played in his career, his whole basketball career. So that part of it is an adjustment for him. But, you know, my job is to make sure that we're putting the people out there to give us the best opportunity to win and do those things. And, you know, do we need Willie? Well, I think it was pretty obvious that we need Willie. You know, it was going to take some time. I know he's going through this, but, you know, Willie will be a better player because of it if he will understand what this is about and understand and keep the game simple. Basketball is a simple game. It's not, you know, and sometimes we tend to make it too hard.
Looks like you're getting a little bit more out of Logan each time out.
Yeah.
He gives you something inside.
Well,
and a little outside,
well,
too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'll say. He's a freshman. He's a freshman, trust me. I saw him a couple of days ago in practice. Oof. But he's talented enough. He's going to be a good player. So hopefully I'll get to watch all of that, because he's got a chance. He's just got to understand what it takes every day and how to be consistent with his preparation and consistent with his effort. But I can't teach his size. I can't teach his he can really pass the ball, but he's learning that some of the passes you made in high school you can't make now. But he has a good feel for what's going on in the game and understands and sees things. And so, you know, I'm very pleased with he and Zach McCormick, along with Roderick Mills. Roderick hasn't played that much, but for where they are as freshmen and where they are at this point in time, then, you know, that will serve us well in the future.
Can you get the feel for it a little bit there in the second half as far as your stroke goes? Were you any particular thing that got you going?
I think just moving without the ball and just hitting open shots when it's open. I mean, I don't really know like what it was, but it's just the flow of the game, I guess. And I was open at the times, and I'm just knocking them down.
Was there a concerted effort toward the beginning that looked like there was an effort to work the ball inside, but it just wasn't working out, turnovers and whatnot coming in as far as the game plan goes? Was there any idea about getting it inside early, or either one of you?
Can you repeat the question again?
Was there any game plan directed toward getting the ball inside a little bit early? It looked like
Inside
you
for
were trying
us?
to get that you were trying to get it inside.
Oh, yeah. We was trying to get it inside. We was trying to get their big mans in foul trouble. But, I mean, we seen that it really, like, wasn't working, so we had to come up with a different strategy.
Eric, you had a few turnovers in the first half. Did you make any adjustments at halftime to try to cut down on those turnovers?
No. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, my coaches always tell me just play aggressive. In the first half, I was kind of jumping the pass. They were kind of reading me. So, I mean, but in the second half, I just kind of just stayed on the attack, but, you know, being more under control. So.
How difficult was it? I think the largest lead was 16. How difficult was it playing from behind, either today or in general?
I mean, it's always tough, you know, when you got a good team like that. You can't do that with any team, you know, and expect to come back. But I mean, unfortunately, we did. But when you're down to a good team like that, who doesn't make that many mistakes, you know, it's going to be that much tougher. But that just shows you kind of just the talent we have, you know, to come back and make it a game.
Did it take you out of your game plan at all once you were that far down?
No, I mean, just kind of just stay aggressive, you know. Shots weren't falling during that period. You know, we were kind of making some turnovers. But then once we got a groove, start pressing a little bit, the crowd started getting into it. You know, we started knocking down shots, you know. That's what kind of cut into that lead. So.
Willie, when you hit those few shots in a row in the second half, how important is it for you to be confident in your shot?
You know, it's like you always got to be confident in your shot, no matter what. If you miss two, you always got to shoot the next one. I always tell myself that. It's been a lot of people telling me if I'm not hitting, then try to go to the hole or something like that. But me knowing me, I know if I'm not gonna hit the shot, I'm gonna shoot the next one. So it's all about confidence. And tonight I had confidence in my shots and I shot them.